Hello again, everyone. Welcome to the Google Basics Training Assignment 2. I'm here to help walk you through the document if you prefer the video. And so here we go. The first thing you're going to want to do, it says right here, create a document. We're going to go to Drive. So over here on the right-hand side, I've split the screen and I have my Drive open and ready to go. I'm going to click New. I'm going to go to Google Docs, and I'm just going to click on Google Docs. All right. So while this is loading, this is where the main set of information we're going to be working with today for this assignment. The first thing and the next step it's going to ask you to do is rename the document. I think this is crucial for students because if they get a bunch of untitled documents, they have no idea what they've been working with. So same thing goes for teachers. We should name this right away. To keep things simple for now, we're just going to call it Assignment 2. Assignment 2. There we go. And then I hit enter, and it's got its name. One of the things I want you to consider when you've made this document is, do you know where it's actually located? So before I get into copy and pasting images, right here, if you want to know where your file is currently at, just click on this Move to Folder option. And you can see that it's currently located in my Friends University folder because it's at the top. And then it also shows me other documents in there. So that's where I want it. That's where I would like you to have yours, is in the folder you've created for the class in the previous assignment. If it's not there, you'll want to select the file and move it there, okay? So for now, mine's good, so I'm going to keep going. The next thing I'd like you to do is copy and paste text and images. So really what I want you to do here is just go out to a website, something that's relative to the topic that you've chosen for all of these assignments, and that was decided based on the folder you created. And just go find an image and then an article of some kind that would be relative to the topic that you've chosen, and paste some text from that article in here. Okay, so I'm going to pause this. I'm going to go find some stuff, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I found a website that I like, so I'm going to copy and paste some text here. This has to deal with class action lawsuits, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that I want to use this information. So I right click, or I selected, let me do that again. I selected, oops, I missed my, there, we'll get the gist of it. Selected, right click, copy. Then I'm going to come over to my document and I'm going to right click and paste. And my information is now on there. It looks like it left the C off because that was an image. So I'm going to type my C in there. I also wanted an image for you. I wanted you to put an image in there. So another thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to go find the image. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I think I found the best picture for this scenario. So I'm going to right click on this image right here, and I'm going to copy image. Then I'm going to come over here, and I'm just going to paste it in the document for now. We'll reorganize all this stuff when we need to, okay? So I'm going to paste that in, and there's the image. It's all set in there. Sometimes when you do this, if the image doesn't copy and paste over, you can right click and save image as, and then you can insert it as an image, and we'll talk about how to insert an image here in a little bit. Okay, so there's that. Again, I'm not worried about its location just yet. We'll talk about what to do with it here in a little bit. Okay, let's go back to instructions here. And we've copy and pasted text, and we've copy and pasted an image. Now we're going to talk about manipulating text. So one of the things I want you to show me that you can do is, can you show me that you can change font color, change the font style, bold it, italicize something, underline text, and put some text or information in a list. So I'm going to give you a moment. I'm going to pause and do that myself, and then we'll come back to inserting elements. Okay, go ahead and do that now. Okay, I've made all the changes to manipulating text. I thought I would mention that if your screen is split like mine, then you're going to have to go to the More option to see some of those tools on the toolbar. They would have disappeared because the screen wasn't as big. And therefore, you're going to be missing some of the buttons like bold, italicize, underline. Here's the text color option. I also asked you to make a list, whether that was bulleted or numbered. And the rest of them should have been across the top. Your font style was right here. I chose Cinzel. The font size is here too. I think the font size is pretty universal, so I don't have you do it here. So if you made those changes, congratulations, you're done with that step, and we're going to move on. All right, the next thing we're going to do, this gets a little bit more involved. We're going to insert some elements. So I'm going to scroll down here underneath my picture, and I'm going to double click underneath there to try and create a next line of entry. There we go. I had to enter as well, and that didn't really work. Greetings everyone, and welcome to assignment 2. We're here to work with Google Docs this time. Last time we worked with the folders, and we're going to try and continue to add some things to that folder to enhance your class that you've chosen for this assignment in this course. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a Google Doc. Make sure you're inside the folder you've created. So here I am inside the folder I've created for this class, and I'm going to go to New, and then I'm just going to click Google Docs. Okay. Now I've already made my Google Doc, so I'm going to not click it, but I want you to, and it should open a Google document for you. I'm going to go up to my assignment 2 that I've already created. Up here, yours says Untitled Document. The first thing I'd like you to do after you've opened your new doc is to rename it Assignment 2. So if you'll go ahead and rename it Assignment 2 real quick, all you have to do is double click and type it in. After you do that, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go out and you're going to practice your copy and pasting skills from the web to this document. So I'd like you to go out and find an article that you could use in your assignment here that you're making, and treat it as though it's some information you would use and give to your students. All I did was I went out to the web and I found an article. I'm doing business law, so I found something based on class actions, and it's this case, and then I decided to briefly use this first paragraph that describes class action lawsuits. So for you, whatever your topic is, go out and find something that you can bring some information in and we can manipulate it, because as you can see, I've manipulated some of the text, and we'll talk about that here in a second. Additionally, I want you to find an image out there, and I went to Google Images. That's a great place to go. Something relative and entertaining that can draw the eye to the information and makes kids want to look at it. See if you can get out there and copy and paste that in too. To copy and paste information, for example, the image, you just have to right click on the image, copy image, and then come over here, you just right click and you paste it in. Okay, okay, I'm back. One of the things you might want to do with your images right away is hit break text, so you can manipulate and do text things around it. It's been kind of stubborn with me today. Usually I can double click and get in there, but it hasn't been letting me this time. After you do that part, the next thing you're going to do is go to Insert and Chart. And my son's going to join us real quick. He's having a good time today outside. Okay, we've put a chart in, and you'll notice when you insert the chart, there's an option there to edit in Sheets. That same option is available if you click on it and you go right here. You can open in Sheets as well. Really, I just want you to insert the chart. You can go look at that and open it in Sheets, but we're going to have a whole separate thing in Sheets to where you can manipulate the data here on the page. And so it's not essential that you go in and change anything at this point in time. I'm really just focusing on you being able to insert it into your document, okay? So let's keep going. We're going to insert now a drawing. So insert drawing, go to insert, drawing, pretty self-explanatory, right? And this is basically a place where you can do word art, or you can insert an image this way too. I don't use this way at all to insert images. I always just copy and paste or insert image. One of the things you could do if you inserted an image in here is then you can draw over the top of it to identify specific things, which is kind of handy. I have a feature called the snipping tool on my computer where I can do that same thing without having to bring it into here. So those are some options you have. Today I'm going to focus on creating a word art for yourself. So if you want to click the text box option, create the text box, And it looks like I'm going to need to scroll over here. I'm going to expand my screen here a little bit so you can see all this. And drag this over. Oh, it disappeared. I got to draw it again. Come here, box. There we go. All right, I'm going to type in the title of my class, business law, and then I'm going to select it. But I don't want it to stay this normal. I want to change it up, but I want to make it stand out a little more. So I'm going to change the font. I'm going to give it this Black Ops look and dress it up a little bit, and then I'm going to make it bigger. Go to 36. You can manipulate it however you want, but at least make it bigger and change the color of it. I'm going to make mine blue because we're school colors is blue. So that's really all I wanted you to do there. Now if you hit save and close, you'll see that it shows up, but instead of just being text on the page, it's actually an image type situation, so you can drag it around, you can resize it, you can have all kinds of fun with it. Okay, something like that. But that's just to show you that, and it has the same rules as an image. You can wrap text, you can break text, which I'm going to select break text, so I can click down here below and make my next thing. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to insert a link. One of the best ways to insert a link is just to know your link, right click, copy, and paste it from the website. So I'm going to go over here to this class action lawsuit information that I found, and I'm just going to Control C. You can also right click and copy, but Control C is a keyboard command for that. And then I'm going to come back over here. No, wanted to go underneath it. There we go. And then I can right click and paste. And then that link is in there. Now it's not a selectable link because after you paste it in, if you need to hit the space bar, and that'll turn it into a link. Okay. There are other ways you can go up to insert, put the link in and paste it in that way, but it takes a little bit longer. I have drawn that out in the steps just so you can see all the ways in which you can put a link in. If you already know the website, you can just type it in. But one of the things I highly recommend when you're putting links in is to change the name, not the link itself, but the name. So if you click on the link and then it brings you down to this, to actually go to the link, you have to select it down here. But I'm going to change because I want to change the name of it. I don't want it to look like that kind of it looks like a mess to me on the page. So I'm going to change it to something that makes sense to me. So I'm going to put class action information. Okay, and so that right there is plenty of information for them to understand what it's about. And then it changes the name of the link and it looks really nice on the page compared to all this stuff down here. Okay, and so then if I click off of there and hit enter, I have my link and it's all ready to go. All right, so that's inserting a link. Let's go back over here. The next thing we're going to do is headers and footers. If you go to insert again, there's a header and footer option. My niece Jocelyn and my daughter Mackenzie are here helping me with the header and footer. I'm going to select header this time, and I want you to left align. Okay, I'm back. Going to have the header put in here. You could have selected footer. It's whatever choice you want. I'm going to right align it because I like my headers at the right align. I'd like you to try that too, just so you can see the movement of it. And then we're going to put revised, the month, which is August, and the year, which is 2017. So that can show you an example of a header and or footer that you put in here, and it also keeps you updated on when you last revised it. Sometimes you need to know that when you need to update things. All right. The next thing is ML that we're going to talk about add-ons, and to do that I'm going to make a separate video because it takes a little more time. So please select the second video in the list at the top of the document, and that'll help you get through the add-ons.